Full day today. Listen, it's time for 9 for 9. It's time for Thrive Thursday. And we've got to talk about seed and water. We got to talk about seed and water this morning. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to go ahead and tag somebody, drop their name in the comments, share it to your page if you would. And I'm going to be right back. Yes, we've got company this morning, but I'm going to be right back. Hey there, I'm back. Good morning this morning. Hey, seed and water this morning. What about the seed and water? Growing things, getting things to grow. This is Thrive Thursday after all, and we know we're working to thrive, to grow, to go forward, to be better than we are today on tomorrow. Listen, to be better than we are at this moment, this now, in just even a few moments. Seed and water. Wow. Listen, let me go ahead and give you 2 Corinthians 9 and 6. Would you please, if you're already there, go ahead and share it out for me? Thank you. 2 Corinthians 9 and 6 says, "But this I say, he who soweth sparingly, just a little bit, shall reap also sparingly, just a little bit. And he who soweth bountifully with a whole lot shall reap also bountifully, reap in a whole lot." You know, many times, that's 2 Corinthians 9 and 6. You know, many times we've heard people say, you can't get anything in your hands because you're holding them so tight. You're holding on to what is yours so tight that you can't open your hands up and allow them to receive. Listen, seed and water this morning. What when we talk about seeding, we talk about reproducing. We're talking about being capable of flowering into another such plant. So whatever you're sowing, whatever you're sowing, you're planting, you're putting in the ground, you're building your foundation with. That's what you're going to get back. Okay. So the word says there, if we sow sparingly, I'm going to say if we seed sparingly, just a little seed, that's all we're going to get back is a little seed. But if we sow or seed bountifully with greatness, we put a whole lot into it, that's what we're going to get back, a whole lot from it. So I was thinking about some things this morning. I thought about, you see people, and I know many of us, we get caught up in, oh, this person seems to be doing phenomenal. Their stuff is going forward. Well, you don't know what work they're putting in order to build that up. Okay? You don't know whether they're just coming on like me when I come on, or if they're putting some footwork behind that thing. They're building it up. They're pushing it. And we can think about marketing strategies when we talk about seed and water. We can talk about marketing strategies for your entrepreneurship, for your business, for your family, for your home, for your livelihood, for your spirituality. We can talk about seeding, and whatever you seed, that's what's going to grow in you, with you, and from you. So we talk about seed and water. In order to seed something, to get it to grow, it requires that thing called water. It requires that thing called water. When we talk about water, water is simply a colorless, this is the definition, transparent, odorless liquid that forms the seas, the oceans, the rivers, and rain. But what water also makes up is 50 to 70% of our body weight. Wow, we are a lot of water, aren't we? And our body depends on water to survive. We have to have water. We will die without it. Listen, you will dry up, you will whisk away. Every cell tissue in our body, every organ in our body needs water in order to work properly. So listen, we've got to plant the seed, but we've got to use the water. Okay? Water gets rid of waste in our bodies. Water is good for so many things. It keeps our temperature normal. It lubricates our cushions and joints. Some of you with those arthritis issues, drink more water, okay? It protects even our sensitive issues. Okay, I know y'all. I know we got company this morning. Listen, Genesis loves G Mommy, and G Mommy loves her back. Okay, so listen, lack of water though can lead to dehydration. And when you're seeding, a lack of water can cause that seed to dry up. Do you understand that when you first plant that seed has its own water within? It has its own amount of moisture. But when you push it down in the ground, in the dirt, in the soil, if there's no water flowing to it, what happens is the soil draws out whatever water it has. And so in our case, if we're not watering ourselves with the right things, whatever we're putting in is drying us out. Whatever we've got our hands in is drying us out. And so we need water to replenish the seed. We need water to help the seed continue to grow. We need water, you see, to help us keep going forward. So, seed and water this morning, the very seed that you want to thrive or to grow cannot do so without being lubricated, without moisture, without the water. That's why the rain comes down to water the earth, to keep things growing. And we know even in the midst of the growth, there's some dead leaves, there may be some dead limbs, and it depends on the season where these things die. So sometimes, even in us, in our lives, some things die away. Guess what? Rake them up, bag them up, put them out. But understand this, though some of the leaves are falling off and they might not be any good, though some of the limbs may seem a little withering, guess what? There is still a foundational seed that is still growing, that still has you going, that root. Because when we plant a seed, it has to root. And when we plant the seed and the roots begin to grow out, the roots, if it roots, man, you got a good plant going on. If what you have sprung onto the world, that idea that you had, if it roots, guess what? Hey, Steve Jobs is gone. If it roots, guess what? Oh my goodness, corporations are built from that. If it roots, strong families come forth. If it roots, that seed that you planted in your child, if it roots, presidents are born. Okay? If that seed roots, that thing that you planted, if it messes around and catches a root, and then the water is flowing, and then, hey, bring some of your sunshine, those smiles, that strength, bring it forth and go with it. The very seed that you want to thrive cannot do so without water. Listen, God planted me as a seed. I've grown from my mom. God planted another seed in me. My seed has grown. God planted a seed within my seed, and that seed has grown. However, if we don't water the seed that He plants in us, it can't go forward. It can't. Yes. And my seed is over there cutting up. My seed of my seed is cutting up right now. But listen, I'm G Mommy now. Good morning. Y'all can say good morning to my Jenny girl this morning. But I was determined to do this morning. I had to step up and step in because my seed needed me to sow some things, to do some things to help my seed keep growing. So I want you to always encourage, always go forth. Don't stop. Don't let things hinder you. Situations you work through and you work forward. But this morning, again, let me say some good mornings. Good morning, Sister Pam. I see you. Good morning, Sister Winnie Middleton Warner. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Gail Spencer. Good morning, Bertha Faison, Mark Anthony Smith. Good morning to you. For those of you in the chat and those who are not, listen, I want you to know that you're loved. I love you. I appreciate you. This is Thrive Thursday. Yes, I'm growing. I'm going. I'm not going to stop until He says so. But in the meantime, I'm going to start me and Jenny's day off. Guess what? She's okay. Jenny girl. Hey, she's okay. She just wants me right now. But we're going to start our day off with a cup of positivity. God bless you. and I'll see you next time.